It's Shark Week on Discovery Channel, and I'm stretching out this gimmick thin with an adaptation not about sharks or shark monsters, but shark attack victims. In 2003, 13-year-old Bethany Hamilton lost her left arm to a tiger shark off a coast in Hawaii while surfing with her friends. Surfing is a sport that requires your whole body, and here's a young woman who already was surfing competitively and was sponsored by companies in the sport. Suddenly, she's in a situation where all of that may not be possible anymore. That is a heavy situation to be put into at 13 no less, but here she is not long after the attack, and here she is 14 years later, still surfing and winning competitions. Right now she's asking for crowdfunding for a new video project where she surfs an area known for its sudden change in dangerous sized waves, appropriately or not named Jaws. And here she is even swimming with sharks. 2 years after the attack, with help with some other writers working with her, MTV Books published Soul Surfer. Yes, MTV has a book line. I was as surprised as you are. The book was written with a much younger audience in mind, not for 25-year-old idiots with a camera on YouTube. The structure and writing style feels very much like a high school student's "what I did in my summer vacation" essay. The sentence structure was simple and to the point. It didn't dwell on descriptions for very long, there's not any sprinkling of English literature, and to fill up the pages were given some filler little snippets of surfer trivia thrown in. It was a different change of pace after going through Frank McCourt's more adult writing style, focusing on his life and poverty every step of the way in detail. Soul Surfer is not that. It's a small, easy read, but the story is really something. To listen to someone talk about this experience and just getting right back up after losing the ability to do one of the only things that is your identity, especially at an age where you begin to develop that identity, it brings in some retrospective. And the movie messes it up so badly. In the book Soul Surfer, the main focus is not the shark attack. Bethany is given free rein and talks about herself, her interests, her faith and religion, much more in detail than the shark or the surgeries. The physical therapy is given just a single passing sentence. But when adapting a story, you need a story. That means a narrative, and it also means dramatizing or changing details. Though there isn't much detail, the book is filled with these little moments that could be recreated and adapted, that would be good sources of drama, that would also be truthful to Bethany's story. We don't get that. Instead of a Bethany Hamilton that seems generally fine before the attack, we're given a Bethany that is losing her faith in exchange for surfing and sponsorships.
What's this?
Well, it looks like I'm not going to be able to go to Mexico, so...
Are you sure you can't come?
Yeah, I've got to stay and train now that I'm sponsored.
I was really looking forward to it. You're gonna miss out.
More on that later. Instead of showing us surfing being a competitive but generally friendly sport, we have the arch nemesis made for the movie. And she's evil. And she always wears black to let us know that she's evil.
Evil!
The attack itself is accurate. The shark really did just kinda come up to her and go "ram" on Bethany, with no big spectacle. Shark attacks generally happen like that. Bethany and her family fought pretty hard with the studio to make sure the attack happened as it did. Everything else, well, a shark attack is traumatic no matter how you bite into it. I hate myself for that pun. In the book and real life, Tunnels Beach is a public beach off the coast of Kauai. It's a touristy area. When Bethany was attacked, there were people to give her their towels to stop the bleeding and to keep her warm. There was even a trained paramedic that just happened to be there to help her. Instead, for the movie, Tunnels Beach is a secret, secluded spot which is meant to increase the drama with her board being used as a stretcher to get to the car. Bethany talks about the week she spent at the hospital. The first surgery to cut off the nerve endings and make a clean amputation. Then the second surgery to graft skin over the wound. Her friends and her church group bring so many bouquets of flowers, it looks like a forest in her hospital room. In the movie, it seemed the surgery lasted only a couple of days. She was healed enough to head back home thanks to Dr. Craig T. Nelson?
Sharks don't die of cancer. I'm trying to find out why.
Did this man sign on to every shark-related project he could? Because I will watch every single one of them. In the book, we get little descriptions on how Bethany was coping with what happened. We get mentions of nightmares and the fear of entering the water again. Not the water in general, but just the water at Tunnels Beach where the attack happened. In the movie, Bethany seemed to be coping pretty well. her friend actually being the one having the nightmares, and her family were the ones breaking down more than she was. It's a weird thing to see the dramatization playing down the events that happen instead of up. Movie Bethany questions her faith, not only in her religious beliefs but in herself. We get a montage of her learning how to surf again, gaining her confidence back, only for her to give up simply for losing a competition next scene. But she did it. She was surfing again. She got back on the board. What else is there to say, and why stop? You were doing it. This is where the movie really ventured off. It decided to include a missionary trip she made in Thailand. In real life, it was 2 years after the attack. Bethany already came to terms with her situation. She was surfing competitively at this point, and around this time she even won her first national title. But the movie decided to make this trip months instead of years after the attack, and that this should be the moment where Bethany is inspired to go back into surfing, back from doubting herself and back into her faith.
They say the Lord works in mysterious ways. I say that's an understatement. Who would have thought that teaching a kid to surf would teach me that surfing isn't the most important thing in the world?
What the hell?
What kind of demented, vengeful Old Testament God does this woman follow? Oh, a 13-year-old girl wants to surf more than pray to me? Well,
Send in my avatar. No surfing for you. And for no reason, Thailand gets motherfucking hurricaned. I'm God. Deal with it.
this guy's a f***ing maniac.
I say the man that lives in the sky. Yeah, that guy's evil.
That guy's a coward, hiding up there doing bad things to us. Why doesn't he do it to our faces?
We have to stop that evil bastard before he kills us all.
Did you throw Snickers at me?
Yeah, have some more.
Why are you doing this?
Because you go on dumb rants when you're hungry. Better?
Maybe. Interpretations depend on the audience. People find Bethany's story very inspiring. I do too. You had something horrible randomly happen to you, and it changes your life and you have to adapt. In Bethany's book, she says she doesn't think the shark was sent by anyone. Sharks are animals, so they are generally unpredictable. There are precautions you can make that will lower your risk. Yes, shark attacks already are very rare. Bethany herself has wondered if the watch that she wore in her arm might have reflected sunlight like fish scales. That might have attracted the shark. Covering up watches with sleeves is a safety policy that's taught when diving. It doesn't change what happened though. What Soul Surfer the book says is that bad things happen to you and you'll be able to get back up, sometimes with the help of faith, family, or friends. Soul Surfer the movie makes a narrative, intentionally or not. Girl lessens her faith in exchange for more self-fulfilling ventures. Girl then loses ability to do the things she wanted to do. Girl loses faith in herself. Girl gains back faith. Without that voiceover about understanding a plan, the movie could have followed the book's idea of having faith. You don't have to understand the plan. Adding that voiceover though makes it seem like the shark attack was a punishment. Someone already faithful watching probably wouldn't mind or even notice this. But then the movie would simply be, pun intended, preaching to the choir. Soul Surfer is cheesy and not very good.
Not too cheesy, right?
Somewhere between cheddar and jalapeno jack.
But for a Christian film spreading a message, it is miles better than the more antagonistic messages coming from, say, God's Not Dead, where liberals get cancer and atheists will be killed by cars. I mean, what else could Soul Surfer do? Give Bethany superpowers or something?
Why is she so far out?
What is she giving up?
I don't know.
She feels something.
Oh, big bomb on the outside.
Nope. 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 Amanda, start the car. There's not enough Snickers in the world to help out with this.
Go to the sea, you'll see a cuddly, cuddly, cuddly shark. Cuddly, cuddly, cuddly shark.